Hi guys, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto here in Japan, taking a look at our auction purchase of a 1996 Honda Integra Type R with 4 doors. This one here is a DB8, which is basically like a DC2 with the extra set of doors on the back, and then not a hatchback, it actually has a trunk. And so we'll take a look at the car, engine, interior, and compare it to the auction sheet from which we bought it. And this one's going over to Canada. And so this one here is a 1996, so it fits in with the Canadian law of 15-year-old vehicles. Not yet ready for the USA. USA is 25 years. Okay, so this one here is an early model. And so they changed over in 1998 to a little bit of a later model with some upgrades on it. And this one has 86,000 kilometers on the car. It looks to me in fantastic condition. This is, I think, the best DC2 that we, pardon me calling it a DC2, DB8, but best Integra Type R that I've seen in terms of condition. It is very lovely, much better than I thought it would be just looking at the auction sheet. And even saying that, the auction sheet is really gorgeous on this one. Okay, engine runs no problem. Now, it might sound a little bit funny because of the way that the camera picks up audio. It seems like engines that sound like this tend to sound worse once they actually get into the video and you guys hear it through your headphones or your laptop or whatever else. But here in person, the engine runs perfectly. And if you look at the valve cover, there's no peeling paint on that. That's the original finish. And so that's a lucky little win. And then everything under the hood here is all stock. And so when you're buying a car like this, especially one that's over 15 years old, it's really lucky to find one that's in stock condition because you know it hasn't been molested by anybody and none of the modifications are going to be in question when you go and do those yourself, if in fact that's what you want to do. The 4-door is certainly, actually let me get into that a little bit later. I was going to say what I think about the 4-door, but I'll say that when I go around it. I'm just going to tell you the oil and the coolant look to be fine in this. It comes with a stock strut tower brace here, and then even the stock air box. Type R, DB8. Okay, gonna lower the hood. Take a look at the tiny little Japanese battery. Actually, it was replaced last March. Okay, I'm gonna lower the hood. Probably the worst part on the car is the fading badge here. That's funny. Then we're going to take a look at the auction sheet, which, stupid me again, forgot to bring the auction sheet today. Actually, this car and the one that I just shot, forgot all of them all in one day. So here we go. This one here is a 1996 Integra Type R, 1800cc of course, and that's a B18C engine. This one's auction grade 4.5B, and so that's a very, very high grade for such an old car. In fact, most auctions, they'll say, look at this one's a 1996, it's over 10 years old, there's no way you're getting a 4.5, and so this is a super high grade car. 322 kilometers, 5-speed manual transmission, no mileage change or anything like that. Alloy wheels, power steering, power windows. The seller didn't write any sales points, but they wrote in the notes aftermarket steering wheel, which it is a nice aftermarket unit. I'll show you in a sec. And a 1-owner car. And then the report says front bumper has paint cracks in it. Small dent, small scuff on the side skirt, small scratch on the roof, 2 small scratches on the left side, and a small scratch on the rear bumper. Seat wear, and various scratches and dents. Now if you compare this to any of the other sheets that we usually do, this section will be full of different marks of different problems, and there will be more marks on here. And so this is a relatively clean, actually in fact very clean vehicle. And so let's take a look at how that compares. Okay, the DC2 is fantastic. Here I go again calling it DC2. The DB8 is a fantastic looking car, especially nowadays. It's looking better and better. The video is a little bit dark here. We're in the shade. I'm doing this one outside of the lot simply because the lot is a little bit funny right now. It's got a stripe of sun right in the middle, and that's going to ruin the videos. It still has plates on it from the last person who owned it, and so we can go and drive this if we want. The engine is very nice and very smooth. Okay, so the 4-door is longer in wheelbase than the 2-door one. A little bit heavier, a little bit less stiff. And so if you're looking for all-out sports, the 2-door is a higher performing one. But they are very similar otherwise. Not that much less stiff, not that much heavier, and still has cool looks, in my opinion. Those wheels are the 4-bolt wheels. Now you can get them with a 5-bolt, but that came in 1998 and 1999. This version has a hand-built engine, whereas the next version of it didn't have that. And so the engine is very smooth and very nice and feels great. Now this car, more than pretty much any car that I've ever seen, is a real surprise in how good the car feels compared to what the spec sheet says. Now, people who are really into cars will generally know that on paper, the cars generally don't really say how good the car is, but that doesn't help people on the internet, you know, saying this car is better than that car because it has more horsepower. This one has 200 horsepower, and yet it feels to me faster than the 260, 280 horsepower Integras. I'm sorry, Imprezas. Here we have a Gino coming by, kind of a weird car. I'll give you a quick glimpse. It's like a pretend Mini. The car handles so nicely, the steering is so good, the shifter's perfect. It just feels like a car that was built properly. It's funny, it has a lot of NSX feeling in it, even though they're completely different cars. That's the stock front lip. Of course, the stock wheels. They went up to a larger size for the next version. That's a stock Honda badge on the side there. Stock mirrors. Stock windows, stock spoiler, stock rear headlights, tail lights. And the badging on the back, which is a sticker in order to keep your weight down, is non-appealing and great. This is the original exhaust and the original plates, Japanese plates. Now you can't have those Japanese plates sent to you unless your exporter is the stealing type, because if you want to actually send those, you have to claim that they were stolen to the police, and so we don't do that. So please, I mean, you can ask us if you want the plates, but we aren't going to send them to you. All right, over to the interior. I'm going to show you the back first, because actually this is my first time going into the back of one of these. We've sold a number of the 2 doors, but this is our first time with the 4-door. And something I have to say about the 4 doors, it is a lot less common to see the 4 doors than the 2-door version of these. And so just in a uniqueness standpoint, it's really neat. As far as I know, the 4 doors were never available in the USA or Canada, and they were quite limited production cars in the USA and Canada anyway. If the 4 doors like the 2-door, then they'll have problems with the door cards peeling in this section here. They'll kind of get like a wrinkle in that section. Kind of weird. You'll know if you've seen it. These dashboards usually don't crack from what I've seen, even though they have a lot of plastic there. This one here is a black seat version. You can get them in black seat or red seat. From what I've seen, it's about 75% are red seats, 25% black seats, but that's just what I've seen at auctions. And pardon my voice, I can't speak today. Maybe that's better. Okay, door cards seem to be good. It has this fake carbon fiber, but oh well. Spider webs. There's your aftermarket steering wheels. Looks to be in great condition. Black seats. Now these seats are notorious for sagging in this section. These ones are much better than your average ones. They look more wrinkly than they actually feel. No cigarette burns or excessive wear in them. And these are the stock seats in the car, of course. Type R badge there. Gauge set. I usually don't do that because we don't want the neighbors to be angry at us. Everything's really clean in here. It doesn't look like it's been touched very much. Cigarette lighter's been used, but it doesn't smell like cigarettes. There are no ash remnants in the ashtray. Shift knob's actually pretty heavy. It's one of the heaviest parts of the car. Brakes feel good, clutch feels good, everything. Shifting feels great. Really nice and tight there. This one here, AC. And this one has the clock. This is kind of interesting because the clock on this car was actually an option. Most of the ones that I've seen have just a plate that says Integra right there instead of an actual clock. Tape deck. And I'm going to show you the trunk because, oh, I just popped the hood. Idiot me. Okay, let's go push the hood back down. And so the two-door, the whole back window goes up. This one here, only the back trunk. Double overhead cam VTEC LSD. And so super clean trunk inside here. Now if you're looking for an Integra Type R or a Civic Type R, you have to really be committed to this car more than other cars, because in terms of horsepower per dollar, it's really not a good combination. But people who have owned these cars generally really like them, and that's why they're so expensive. The Gino's coming down the street again. Let me get out of the way of them. And when it comes to a four-door, there's two to pick from actually. You can pick this one, the Integra, or you can pick the Euro Accord R, which is a CL1. Also another great four-door Type R. And so that'll be the end of the video here. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, post them in the comments section. You can check out our website. It's in the description to the video. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.